Okay. All right.
So Omens is a good place to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to open up a little bit about Omens?
Yeah, I could read the definition on the AI.
Sure.
So it's saying that like it's a believed a prediction of a future event, and it's a consideration of like something like that's symbolic, and it can be like their cultures. It's like more prone to cultures, right? More prone to cultures like certain beliefs,
Like spirituality.
spirituality.
Yeah.
It's mainly on the spiritual side of life, and I honestly believe the spiritual side of life that comes with like meditation and everything. And it doesn't have to be evil, because I heard like a lot of myths about that, like when I was little, like meditation is evil, but no, like, I think it's like more about the self within, like the third eye. But the omen, it's like it usually happens with like animal behavior, specific weather patterns, or like unexpected events. That's when you see the omen. So like give an example.
For me, it was the crow. Like
the crow.
they would.
Tell
It was
them the crow.
Yeah. So my father passed away in 2019, and about the next year or so, there was a lot of stuff with COVID and all this stuff, and there was a crow that would come to the top of my SUV every Sunday. I don't know if it was the same one,
Yeah, show
but
me photo.
he would just stay there, and I'll get close to it. I'll wait on the photo, right? I'll work on it. So right here, let me see. So that's an AI generated picture of a SUV, crow in an SUV. But every Sunday I would go. So it wasn't every single Sunday, but it was like 2 Sundays in a row, and then I'd be like, okay, forget about it, and then it'd be back. And the same exact spot, like right here on the rail, right here on the driver's side rail, almost as to say, like, I'm here. And so for me, it felt like, instinctually, mystically, it was a mystic moment, like saying, I feel like my father's trying to communicate or be mindful or warn me or something. And that's the truth. That's how it felt. And that to me is my omen, or one of them.
Well, Nicole said something interesting about meditation. So here's like a story of mine. I was meditating on the word after I had read my Bible, and I was just kind of trying to sit with God instead of talking to him. I wanted to listen to him instead, right? Because, the relationship kind of goes both ways. And I had heard, and I knew it wasn't my voice. It was more so the Holy Spirit talking to me, because I hadn't gotten to this point in the Bible yet. Ephesians 5:21. And so what did I do? I looked it up, and it was talking about how a godly relationship should be, how man and woman should come together in union, right? And I was wondering, it was like, that's not my situation at all. But okay, I'll hold on to that. It's great information. Love to know it. The next day, my friend went through heartbreak, and so I went over to her house, and we were talking outside her house. It was late at night, and she was breaking down crying to me. And so I've been there for a couple of breakups, so each time I've seen her grow. And I've seen how intelligent she's become about it. She's learning, and so she's evolving in a way. And so I looked at her, because she was telling me all the things I would have told her. She was recognizing the situation, how to go about it, and so she was picking up on these things. And I looked at her and I said, "You don't see how much you've grown from now until then, from this guy to this guy. Like, you've actually done a lot of growing." And then at that moment, an owl, which I've never seen one, she's never seen one, had flown and sat on top of her roof.
Unusual animal behavior.
Yeah, unusual animal behavior. And I sat there, and she's like, "What does that mean?" And it kind of took a little bit to click. And I was like, wait, I was just talking about how you're growing, evolving. And I said, owls symbolize wisdom. And she was like, wow. And we just kind of sat there. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I just heard Ephesians 5:21 the other day. So I read it out to her, and it was just like, an omen was Ephesians 5:21, and then the confirmation was like the owl. And so I was able to gift her with the word and like help her in her situation. But like sometimes the omen wasn't, I thought it was for me, but it was for her, and I just thought that was really cool.
It's a very charged example, and believe it or not, you have something there?
In a way, and I think since you're more spiritual than your friend, it kind of like went through you, so you can explain it to her, and that's how God works too. Like it works through people, and I feel like the spiritual world, like it works through people, or like objects, anything that other people can see it, as long as they can see it, as long as when that window's open, they can see it.
Yeah, well,
and I probably experienced some omens. Like, I just don't recall any recent ones.
Maybe the thing about omens is this: it's almost as if once you understand what one is. Like I said, I read the book The Alchemist, and then I started slowly. It wasn't like before that book. I think there's something that you sort of open yourself to seeing. And maybe, and again, this is being sincere, I think maybe that's why he wrote the book. It's in fiction format, The Alchemist. It's about a guy that turns something to gold, or it's about him achieving this wealth or something like that. And it's about almost the process of manifesting, attracting, and finding the path to your dream, or your that whatever that is for you. And omens are part of that process. You say, in a way, maybe the book The Alchemist, once you read it, maybe I think it tends to be, oh, you're part of that group of people now that resonate with that message, and now you are open to that in your journey. So it's got a mystical element to it. And again, that's a sincere position, somewhat controversial maybe to those that don't like that, but I'm being sincere.
I almost want to say that friends and family and people that you find on your journey can also help you open those doors. My friend, actually, she is very spiritual as well. She's Catholic, and so she actually helped me on my walk with God. She basically, like you said, the Holy Spirit moved through her and called me to be more in tune. So I feel like relationships can help harness that spiritual side as well. When you have someone in your life like that, like how I can talk to God about you with you guys as well, like that kind of helps feed that and helps open more doors, and you get to see, and I tell you something and you're like, that's cool, and then you think about it and then you work on it, and then now you can see it, if that makes sense, like we touch each other.
Yeah, like your message, you had a message about Ephesians, and before on the way here, I was studying a book, and it was talking about relationships to a degree. And you could say that book was written by a lawyer, right? The one I'm reading, I just started it today. So in a way, your Ephesians adds to that book. And so there's a sense of alignment.
Yes.
You see what I mean? And so, again, someone could say, oh, there's no alignment there. It's like, because you don't want to see it, because it would make you more responsible. I think that alignment makes you more responsible, because now there's power. In other words, I was already thinking it, and now you've aligned with the alignment out here. You have nothing to do with this book or what I'm studying, but now you've added interest to the book. So now it leads me to go, I was already going to do it without your message, but now it's like I have more conviction to go, oh, God is trying to communicate me to dig deeper into this world, right? Now, some people could say there's no alignment there. It's like, yeah, because that would stop you from going into the path with more charge, right? But once you have that charge, I will. To me, that's power. That's how I've always accessed power. I have no other way of accessing power. When I don't feel that, I don't have power. Yeah. Right? And so I don't know what power is without that. I honestly don't. Right? Because conviction is needed. Some sort of like, you're sold. You're going. Right? How do you, does that make power and conviction and what, how do you all access? I'm a man. I don't know how women do it. Women, to me, from an external position, I want to hear how you do it. I really see how women do it.
To take responsibility.
Like the responsibility, but like the charge with the conviction, where everything aligns. For me, it's stuff like that, omens and knowledge and like intuitive and instinct. It all collides, right? That's how I do it. For a woman, I think in a way y'all have maybe. I'm not. It's gonna be a compliment. It's gonna be a compliment. I know people might think a guy like me, oh, you're not. In some respects, I think women have more access to more mystical elements because they're connected to Mother Nature, or something, or the star. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But again, I'm not a woman, so I don't know what it's like to be one, or how would y'all access power. I'm telling you, that's how I access power.
Well, Nicole has great intuition, if you want to talk about that. Like the woman's like gut feeling. When you know, do you want to maybe speak on that? Like,
in a way where usually I tend to grow and like advance in a way that to trust myself, and usually whatever you say, like words have such a good tone, so it can cause us, like, what's that verse in the Bible?
There's power.
The tongue causes life and death in the tongue. So the power comes with life and death in the tongue, and it's like I tell myself like, oh, I don't trust myself, then I don't trust myself. Who knows yourself better than you do? Yeah. Right? So I know myself a lot, and I keep saying I trust myself, and I don't think, I just do it. So if I have trust, why second guess yourself? Like, why think? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that gut feeling is like, okay, it's based on, like we were talking about in the other videos, it's based on like repetitive patterns or like experiences or other experiences that you've seen, and it's like, okay, well, I know that this is gonna happen, and I don't want to be there to regret it, or like the end,
Mm-hmm.
like consequence of that, of not taking your gut feeling. So
yeah.
whenever, and it's a sense of energy, like energy radiates everywhere, and if you could pick up that energy and that energy level, like in the book Power versus Force, if you get that book, it talks about energy wavelengths and like, you know, so, and like the energy that I felt, it's like, okay, well, I need to calm down, or I need to attack, you know, or I need to observe. I need to do this and do that, and I can't do this. I can't go that pathway. Like, it's this one, and I don't even know why. I just do it. You know,
because you have that trust.
I have that trust.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just do it, and then it's because, like, if you ask why so much, you wouldn't have the focus on doing. So the more you do, it's like
the more the path's open.
The more the path is open. Yeah, the path's open, and like the trust is already there. Like, it's like you have it or you don't. You know?
Like, yes, wear your seatbelt, but drive. No. I'm saying. I'm almost a metaphor. Like, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
But take the ride. Like, go on the drive. You need to drive. Metaphorically, it can mean like anything. It can be weight training. It could be a diet. It could be the book. It could be the course. It could be the right. Whatever. It's do the work. Like, you know.
Yeah, but I think women are special because even my sister has felt this. I felt this. Like, whenever something is about to happen, you kind of have that anticipation.
Especially a mother.
Yes, there's a different connection between mother and child as well.
Mother and child. It could be parent, like son to father, or son to daughter. Like,
especially between twins. I've heard that they have very strong connection.
I've heard about that too.
Yes. But yeah, so I think there's just something within us that that innate raw primal aspects.
Yeah, and like two best friends. Let's say like someone, like I have this theory, and like and it's happened before in my experiences. Like two best friends, or like two people that hate each other, and you put them in like, say you put them in a room for, I guess, like 2 months or 2 to 3 months, 4 months, and they start adapting to each other's instincts. They start adapting to each other's like words, behaviors, everything like that. And then they have to have something in common, obviously, so they go based on that common that they have. For example, let's say like working out, right, or dieting. So you go based on those commons that you have, and then you guys are compatible in a way. So you think you are compatible, so you open up to more things, even though it's not really compatible. You guys open up, and then you guys start sharing, and that's how people become like so close. Because it starts with like something that one little thing that they have in common, even though if they're not compatible, once they start hanging out with each other a lot, like it's like a gut feeling for both of them, like that they share the same energy. Where like, you know how like you're feeling a little down, so I was like, why do you feel down? You know what I mean? It's because like we're like you're starting to work more, come here for more hours, so it's like the more we start opening up, like we don't really have that much in common, but like we work out, we believe in God, and that's enough, you know. So and then we start opening up to each other, and like to whatever we feel like, and even though we don't both agree, but it's like we see each other eye to eye in a way. It's like, okay, well, you're right and I'm right. So, and then we start hanging out more, and then that's how we get that gut feeling and that intuition of people. And it could be with people, animals, it could be anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really good explanation, and so much was said. I know you said so much, and so much was not said, and I think that that's pretty powerful, Nicole. You know, at the deepest analysis of your perspectives and analysis, I think that, in other words, from someone that's seen analysis and people that have processes and can really analyze things, your particular analysis tends to almost, I think when at your deepest processes, you sort of put it all on the table and it's like, yes. But with you, I think I sense this deeper that mystic aspect to you that is almost playing with the analysis. And again, that's my instinct, sort of analyzing your process. And again, see how does that make any? Is that really deep and is that pretty deep right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
It's getting meta up in here.
Yeah, but see, but you see how like, but so again, it's almost as if like someone creates this beautiful constructs or these great frameworks, and it's like, and then you can still sense the creative energy behind them that put it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like that was only a fragment of the brilliance, right? And then it's like, so then once you see the fragment, you can almost imagine, now in a way you can see the person's reality, where it's like, okay, that's only a fragment.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got to see who you really are because you constructed it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In other words, do you know what I'm saying? Well, who wants to chime in on that one?
Well, I just kind of want to add on, like, taking these concepts together. Whenever I see a fragment of you, you see a fragment of me, and we kind of start to synchronize in a way also. And that helps a lot with the creative process and drawing upon each other's energies. Like Jacob the other day, sorry to call you out, but you forgot your pen.
Yeah.
And Jacob carries a pen. It's his pen. It's very specific. It's his writing pen. It's I forgot what it's called.
You actually were correct. And I was having such a good day that day that good day threw me off balance.
Mm-hmm.
In something like this.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, and you noticed me off balance, and that's why I knew, again, it was like, this person's aware.
Mm-hmm.
But you get it? No, but you get it?
Yes.
No, and I appreciate it. Right, because you're understanding that to somebody else is just a pen. To me, you understand why was he off that day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
was a little worried, honestly.
No,
like,
when,
Jacob doing
no,
that?
no, I hadn't. I went like that. Like I left the house, and I always go check my little day, and I go, and I went like that day, and I went, and I was like, shit. Yeah, but you could say that these little things, these little systems, they're kind of exposed to you, like you're slightly off. And I think that's the beauty behind structure and routine, like and weighing your food and everything. And you're like, when you're off. You know when you're off, and someone could be like, it's like, when you're off.
And I feel like it's good to be off so we can appreciate how much like we put effort into our routines and something like that. Because it's in a way of like process, like the picture you drew over here. It's like it's steps, and the alignment. It's like a reassurance of like what we're doing right, and then on top of that, it's the omens, where it's like more spiritual.
Yeah, but it's almost like that pressure. We talked about how pressure kind of like asks you like, did I make you or break you? That's what Jacob said in his words.
I feel like everyone needs pressure. Pressure is a really big privilege that I tend to appreciate because it just shows me that.
If I got any tattoo, it would be that pressure is a privilege. Just so it's like,
you should.
It just so I could just be like, pressure's a privilege.
But it's like you had a good day, but there's that pressure that was like, well, you weren't on your A game though.
How should I put pressure as a privilege like this or like that? Pressure like this, right? Because so I could read.
Oh, or maybe up and down like here. So
and I'm a whole sleeve.
No.
Don't
be No, but I do like the pressure is a privilege thing. Like even Anyway, so no, I really believe. Look, I think that we're living in a world where there's those people. I really believe this is where we're at. The people that understand the pressures of privilege, they're very. Once you tune into their frequency and you're part of that circle,
it's a pleasure.
You're part of that circle, and you'll start knowing who has it. You'll sense it in them. You'll know. Oh, this guy likes pressure, and that's it. Like it's like, what do you mean? It's like, I know they like pressure. They're not gonna admit it. They don't even know they know.
Yeah.
You don't even. I don't know if they know they like it, but you know they like it.
It's in a way, it's comfort. It's our comfort, that pressure. It's our comfort knowing that it's like, okay, we're doing something, and like you said, you felt off because people who have pressure are used to like a certain like feeling of a routine. So when you feel off, like it's like that pressure is gone, it's like and then
you're just normal. You're just a normal person, deflated. You're just a deflated person that's like, I didn't do what I had to do today, and now you don't even feel victorious.
You could do better. You can do more, and it's like if you're not satisfied with what you did through the whole day, then it's like, okay, well, I just wasted time, and that's the one thing that I hate wasting time, you know. So
Yeah, I feel like productivity is a good thing in a way.
yeah. And then like a lot of pressure comes with stress, and I see a lot of people that surround me and that are stressed out, and it makes me think like, okay, well, I'm so glad I don't feel like that, because I wrote it here. Wait, that's my gym email. Okay, wait. I'll open it later, but I wrote it there. I think I remember I saying people are stressed. They don't want to deal with pressure, you know, like they don't want to deal with pressure because they're stressed, and they leave it till later because they don't want to deal with that pressure.
So it builds
If you don't pick your
builds,
if you
yeah.
don't pick your pressure, like the prison concept, you pick your prison. If you don't pick your pressure, the pressure picks you.
Yeah.
Like it's like now it's
And it
external.
builds
It's
up
it's
stress.
something you don't like. But if you're picking it and you're moving towards pressure, it's like it's your partner.
Yeah, it's like suffer. You're gonna suffer either way, so you get to choose how.
Yeah,
And
so suffer like, okay, well, I have this under my hand, I have this under control, or suffer in a way where like you do everything last minute and like you suffer 3 times more because you wanted to relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one more thing, tying that back into how your process is, you recognize the consequences before it happens. So like you said, you get to choose your outcome, which I think is very powerful in a way.
Yeah, I feel like we all are like that, you know. That's why we all get along, because so we all get along.
Yeah. Well,
in my 20s.
Any final thoughts? I think that was pretty good. Okay, well, I'm Danny.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jacob.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you next time.